In this video, we discuss how to stitch together the belt axis assembly. What you see now in this view is only the motor assembly, how it is attached to the back of your aluminium profile. If I now reveal the belt axis, then you will see that this perfectly goes into the open space. And in this video, we will discuss how to assemble this top part of the belt tensioner. Let's go again into this view and explode the whole assembly. And then it becomes clearer what are the different parts and what you have to watch out for. You see directly that the core component of this assembly is again a precision shaft. This precision shaft is again 12 millimeters. That's why we are using on both sides a KP001 pillow block. That's the first one. That's the second one. They hold this shaft in place. What we have to make sure now is that the belt rollers, so that's this part and this part, is securely fastened on this precision shaft. And we follow the same logic like with the motor axis. We use the halves of a coupler. And this coupler half is then inserted into the 3D printed belt roller. It should fit perfectly. On both sides, you have to insert one coupling half. And what you can then do, you can slide the belt roller with the inserted coupler halves onto the drive shaft and secure it in place because there is a hole in the belt roller which allows you to access this screw. And as you now probably saw in the previous videos, this screw is important to put pressure on the metal ring here of the coupling half, which then allows the coupling half to bite into the drive shaft here. One last point of the belt roller is this rod here. So that's an M4 threaded rod that you can just buy in the hardware store, like you could see in the shopping list. This is used to attach the belt to the belt roller. So the 3D printed piece is basically nothing else than just a roller. So it needs an anchor point for the belt. So you just wrap the belt around it. You insert this M4 rod through the two holes. First one is here, and then on the other side you will have only a hole, but it has no opening on the other end. And this then allows you to fix the belt securely on the belt roller. What you have to make sure is that you apply at least half a turn of rotation, that the belt cannot pull through under tension. What else do we have? We can maybe discuss this side of the whole assembly first. So that's pretty simple. We have a short 2020 aluminium profile. This functions again as an anchor point for the KP001 pillow block. You will again need a spacer here. The spacer ensures that you have the right distance from the back of your profile to the center point of the drive shaft. Keep in mind that for the 80ST assembly, this spacer is not used, but we are talking about the 90ST assembly here, so we use the spacer. A 2020 profile here is fixed to your sim with the aluminium bracket with 3 screws or 4 screws like you want. And then we quickly go back and you see how this looks like. Here you have the side mount, so this is your 2020 profile, and then your aluminium bracket. So it gets you an idea how this is secured on your profile, on your frame. One last part is the cover. So this is also just a 3D print. You can slide over the whole thing. This has no function. This is just aesthetics because it will hide the arguably ugly KP001 pillow block and the 2020 profile. If you go back, then you will see it has a nicer look to it if it's covered. Then let's talk about the other half. Here you have the same logic. You have a belt roller, but the difference here is now that this belt roller is fused to a pulley. This pulley has 48 teeth. The pulley on the motor axis has 24 teeth, so this gives you the 2-to-1 gear ratio. Along those two pulleys, your timing belt will run, and we can talk about this a bit later. But quickly, how do we secure this? Insert your coupling halves, slide it over the drive shaft, secure it in place, and that's it. Then you also need a pillar block on this side. Again, you need a spacer. And then if you switch back now to the model, you will see that this pillar block goes to the central profile. And then the ones on the side, as we discussed, is just fixed to the small 2020 profile here. So also for the top assembly, you have two KP001 pillar blocks. You will also see now how the drive cover covers the large pulley and KP001 pillar block. Everything should look pretty nice at the end. Now, one last part. So with the assembly of the belt axis, we are done. There's not more to discuss. But one last part is how to tension the timing belt. So if we look into this now, you will see here the two different pulleys. Here that's the large one, 48 teeth, and the small one, 24 teeth. You will have a timing belt that wraps around both pulleys. As you maybe know, a timing belt needs some pre-tension. So how do you do that here? The bottom assembly from the motor assembly has a fixed position, so there is no other possibility for you. This is always in exactly this position. Why? Because the top of the motor axis is perfectly on the same height like the top of your back profile. So you can only establish some pre-tension in the timing belt by moving the belt axis. And I did so by giving a bit of clearance here on this 2020 side profile. You can slide this belt axis assembly along the 2020 profile to increase the distance between the motor axis and the belt axis, and this then gives you some pre-tension in the timing belt. Everything is calculated, so this should work in your hands as well. Important, just move the belt axis vertically to increase the pre-tension. There is not much pre-tension needed in my experience, but probably depending on who will build it, the pre-tension will be stronger or weaker, but you should have enough tolerances to have enough pre-tension. This sums up the assembly of the belt tensioner. Now you have to also assemble this belt axis for the other side, and then obviously also the motor axis. And then you should have everything in place, and you can use a belt tensioner.